this just what happens if you get to a certain level of fame, is that you just end up becoming a venture capitalist? Like, that's the end game of money?
Welcome to Wild True, the podcast of your wildest memes.
We're your one-stop internet culture shop, here to dissect what's going viral, why we care, and how this might affect our real human lives. I'm not your legal counsel, Isabel.
And I am your legal counsel, Amanda. Anyone can be a lawyer on the internet, so why not me specifically?
Yeah, specifically, Amanda is the lawyer on the internet, and I am just here.
I can give legal advice. I'm not a member of the bar. I don't have anything to lose here.
Yeah, you won't lose your license if you give random strangers on the internet bad legal advice.
You've heard of tree law. Now get ready for taco law.
Yeah, so today we are gonna dive right in and just talk about a bunch of, like, I feel like they're all, like, food lawsuits, except for the last one. Like, meme food lawsuits. I feel like the last one is not necessarily meme food.
Well, the last one isn't a food lawsuit, it's a lack of food lawsuit.
Sometimes the absence of something is the same as the thing itself.
Yeah, it's the ship of Theseus, but of absence. I don't know, help me out here.
No, this is nothing. I'm not helping you.
0 for 1.
0 for 1. Okay, no, you've got a whole episode to come back from that. Anyway, we're going to talk about Taco Bell.
That's my goal of this episode, is to make a good Ship of Theseus joke.
Yeah, we have to set little challenges for ourselves because
gamify podcasting.
The podcast is just too easy now, you know?
Oh yeah, it's too easy. That's why we're making a lot of money. Just kidding, we're not. Support us on Patreon.
Support us on Patreon. Buy our merch. Our merch is good, I promise. I shouldn't have said that out loud. Okay, so, anyway, we're going back to our original point. Taco Bell lawsuit. So,
Taco Bell lawsuit.
I feel like there's been multiple Taco Bell lawsuits in life, but this is a new one. This is a new one that you might have seen because the photos were going around social media because they were, like, mildly viral because it is very funny. So Taco Bell is getting sued. So there's a class action lawsuit being initiated by plaintiff Frank Siragusa. I think that's probably how you say his name. Against Taco Bell, which is essentially saying, your items don't look like the items that you put on your photographs. AKA, that Crunchwrap Supreme looks like ass.
In planning for this episode, we realized something, which is that I don't actually think I've ever had Taco Bell.
Yeah, I was, like, shocked to realize this, because how have you lived?
I just feel like it's always seemed kind of gross to me.
No, but it's, like, drunk food.
Yeah, but, like...
I guess there isn't one around Penn. Like, see, because that's shocking to me, because Taco Bell was, like, the staple fast food item that I would get as a child when I was, like, in California or some shit, which is, like, there are better places. Obviously, this is not real Mexican food, but there was a lot of Taco Bell there. And
I mean, Taco Bell isn't real Mexican food?
Taco Bell is to Mexican food as Chipotle is to Mexican food, but worse. Is that anything?
Something, Ship of Theseus, all of the ingredients, different product, is it the same? Question mark.
Okay.
Send tweet.
I think we could workshop something with that one.
All right, we'll work on it. But yeah, I mean, I guess part of the reason why I just never really am like, oh boy, Taco Bell, let me go to Taco Bell, is like the pictures in the lawsuit. So basically, page 2 of his lawsuit, he's going right in. He has pictures of the advertisements for the Crunchwrap Supreme and the Grande Crunchwrap Supreme. Actually, is it a Grande?
It is. It is a Grande Crunchwrap Supreme, but I guess they just called it Grande Crunchwrap.
Interesting. So they removed the Supreme? Okay. Well, anyway, the pictures are just, like, very, very thin taco shells with, like, nothing in it.
Yeah, so basically, wait, so let me describe it.
But, like, that's what I feel like Taco Bell looks like. Like, if I imagine ordering Taco Bell, I'm like, yeah, you're gonna get the picture on the right.
Yeah, I think this is one of those cases, like, where, okay, first of all, let me describe a Crunchwrap Supreme to everybody who hasn't been to Taco Bell, like Amanda. A Crunchwrap Supreme is, like, you get basically tortilla that is, like, folded on itself on, like, kind of like a disc-like shape. Within that tortilla, you have layer of, like, ground meat and cheese, then, like, a crunchy little tortilla layer, and then, like, basically a salad and like pico de gallo, but like really it's a salad. This is fucking Taco Bell. It's not like actually Mexican food. And then this whole thing is like grilled, and then that's what you get. And in the advertisement, it looks delicious. It looks like actually like pretty substantial. And in the photos of what you really get, it is like half an inch thick and very sad.
But like, as a Taco Bell enjoyer, is this what they look like, or is there something in the middle, or like is this just a particularly bad Taco Bell?
These are particularly bad.
This is about a specific Taco Bell in Ridgewood, Queens.
Yeah, so this looks particularly bad, but not that many standard deviations away from a regular Taco Bell order. I will occasionally buy a Crunchwrap Supreme when I'm drunk, and usually I'll get the vegan Crunchwrap Supreme because I actually don't like ground meat. It tastes fine, but it's pretty much nothing. There's another thing that's going on here, which is like from a conceptual level, I feel like everybody knows what they're getting from Taco Bell when they order it, and it's that you're gonna get more like the bad images than the good images. Like there is no truth in advertising, and that's like everyone knows that you're not gonna get the good Taco Bell. However, this guy is suing because he's like, hey man, I didn't get the good Taco Bell, and nobody's getting the good Taco Bell, and you're telling us you're gonna give us the good Taco Bell.
So, is there legal precedent to sue a fast food chain for false
Oh
advertising?
yeah, all the time. Well, so the thing is that like basically they're suing under New York state law, I believe. So let me actually get into what's going on in the case, because basically the short answer is yes, there is precedent for suing about false advertising or deceptive business practices and stuff like that. So what you have to do in that case is you have to prove that, hey man, this is so beyond quote unquote mere puffery that which is a great phrase, that this is just like, this is bullshit, this is nothing, this is false advertising, and whatever that means is kind of defined by case law. So to take even a couple more steps back, basically the way the law works is there are statutes. This is all the things that we think of as laws. These are the laws that go on the books. And then let's say that one of those laws is, hey, don't do deceptive business practices. If you do deceptive business practices, you will get XYZ fines / people can get XYZ damages from you. This is not what the law is. I'm just hypothetically, but it's not super far.
Yeah, like, I think the thing about this lawsuit is that it just feels like Taco Bell is just like they picked a fast food chain out of a hat. Like, you could do this at a McDonald's, which I've never gotten a hamburger from a fast food chain. That's another stupid fun fact of mine.
I have also never done that. Maybe that should be our like next piece of Patreon content where we both get a hamburger from like McDonald's or something. I won't enjoy it.
Chicken nugget supremacy. Also, honestly, I don't trust our local McDonald's. It just, too much shit has happened on that intersection.
You've learned too much.
Yeah, although the one at Penn has been demolished.
Wait, for real?
Yeah.
Damn. It's fucked up, dude.
Yeah, and the Taco Bell that used to be at Penn is no longer at Penn. Because remember, there was one very briefly.
I do not remember the Taco Bell at Penn. The only one I know is the one in Center City, where I'm pretty sure I got food poisoning once.
This is the millennials. See, that's the thing. It's like, why? Yeah, I don't know. Like, fast food makes me feel sick. But anyway, I'm here with, what's his name? Siragusa. Frank.
Frank Siragusa, yes. Frank Siragusa.
My close personal friend.
And his taco problems. Okay, but so basically to finish the thought I was going through, basically, so that's like the law in the books. So then what actually happens when you bring the lawsuit is like, hey man, they're doing X that goes against the statute. That's not cool. Over time, like, what is deceptive business practices or what is false advertising and stuff? And eventually a body of case law builds up where this is what all the previous judges have said. X is Y. This looks like X. Therefore it is Y. This is how law works at a very, like, 1,000-foot level. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes. And then in the specific...
Also, Mexican pizza feels like an abomination.
No, Mexican pizza is an abomination, but it's kind of good. Unfortunately, Mexican pizza kind of good.
I don't know, like, even in the advertisement picture, the Mexican pizza looks like a Lunchables pizza with beef on it in the bottom.
The Mexican pizza is an abomination. I've never had the beef version, but I've had the bean and cheese version. And it is basically just a deconstructed bean and cheese burrito.
Sorry, I'm like leaning, I'm leaning into the microphone because I'm looking very closely at the pictures in the lawsuit on my screen. The vegan Crunchwrap actually looks more substantial than the non-vegan Crunchwrap, though. So, I get it. Like, this guy, he has a point. I'm with him. Go for it. Why not sue the Taco Bell in Ridgewood, Queens? I'm pro Frank. Frank and I'm gonna join in on this class action lawsuit. Is it a class action lawsuit?
It is a class action lawsuit, which is the other part that I wanted to get to.
How many plaintiffs are there?
So here's the thing. This is how this works. For a class action lawsuit, what usually happens is actually a law firm will find a guy to represent this class of people. Or like this guy will be like, I don't actually know how these usually get originated. I think it's more often that a law firm is like, perhaps this class of people is getting hurt. Perhaps we can get some money. And then they go find the guy, and the guy becomes like the face of the lawsuit. So in this case, Frank is essentially a stand-in for every Taco Bell customer between like 2020 something and 2023. In which case, it's really not like Frank originating this lawsuit, but Frank is an example of the average person who was hurt by their $5 Taco Bell purchase, including me, not including you. So the way that this works is then basically this lawsuit will get originated, and then after this kind of winds its way through the courts and it looks like there's going to be like a settlement or there's going to be damages or something like that, then there will actually be like public notice to be like, hey, if you are part of this class of people, sign up to get damages. This is like a legitimate thing that happens. We cannot blame it all on Frank. Frank is simply the messenger.
Good for Frank. Okay, can I read like an excerpt from the lawsuit?
Oh, absolutely.
Because as a non-lawyer who can give you legal advice, my legal advice is that reading lawsuits is really fun. Like, they're just insane. Like, any sort of like legal document or like financial documents from companies, I'm like, this is juicy as hell. Mm-hmm. Like, I was reading Triller, which is like a TikTok competitor that I kind of think is bullshit, is filing to go public. In their financials, it's like, oh yeah, we took money from our trust funds. And it's like, they just say that because they have to in these documents. And then I'm like, whoa, people are taking money from their trust funds to fund their startups. And then everyone else is like, oh yeah, that's how startups work. Did you not know that? And I'm like, every day I just learn about rich people. Anyway, speaking of non-rich people who are very angry about their $5 Mexican pizza. Poetry reading. On September 20th, 2022, plaintiff purchased a Mexican pizza at a Taco Bell store located in Ridgewood, New York for $5.49 plus tax. Plaintiff viewed Taco Bell's advertisements on the internet and at the store location before purchasing the Mexican pizza and expected the Mexican pizza that he purchased to contain a similar amount of beef and bean filling as contained in the pictures of the Mexican pizza in Taco Bell's advertisements. However, the Mexican pizza that the plaintiff purchased contained approximately half of the beef and bean filling that he expected and looked like the images posted by other customers cited herein. If the plaintiff knew that the Mexican pizza contained half the amount of beef and bean filling as advertised, he would not have purchased the Mexican pizza or he would not have paid the $5.49 price that he paid for the Mexican pizza.
Damn. That was beautiful.
God, this guy's life is so hard.
This guy's life is so fucking hard. Also, can I just say, that is too expensive. I think $5.49 for like a Mexican pizza is too much money.
Yeah. Back in my day. Mexican pizza
was under $5. I actually don't know if that's true. I only bought one once they started going over $5. But I feel like fast food is too expensive now. This is unrelated to subject.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah. Fast food definitely is too expensive now.
So anyway, why is this internet related? It's internet related because this went viral. Send tweet. That's all. We just thought this was funny.
What do you think is going to be the outcome of this? And why is Taco Bell always... I feel like we just hear a lot about Taco Bell lawsuits because it's inherently funny for Taco Bell to be involved in lawsuits.
Yes, I agree with that. I think Taco Bell... I think we would not be hearing about this if it was like Wendy's. Like, I don't think we'd care.
I don't know, but Wendy's... Okay. Wendy's is the chuggiest fast food brand. Send tweet.
What does that mean? What are they doing?
Like... Wendy's does brand posting as though it's like 2011 and everyone is like, oh my god, it is so funny that Wendy's said LOL.
Okay, yeah, that's actually
like,
fair.
You know, when you go on Threads and like literally everything on Threads is just brands, like no one, like, I don't know.
I don't know if people are using Threads.
I mean, like some people are, but I think that like a lot of Twitter competitors, people like jump to join it, and then after a couple of days, they're like, eh. But I don't know. But I feel like Threads at the start was very like brand centric and very chuggy in the way that all Meta products are chuggy. But I think Wendy's is the chuggiest of them all. Also, remember how Wendy's has a Discord with like 50,000 people in it that we looked at like a year ago?
God.
That was a thing.
That sure was a thing. You know, I think if Taco Bell had a Discord, I would immediately join it.
Yeah, I don't know. But that's the thing is like, I feel like, can there really be a community around a fast food chain?
Well, I don't think there could be, but I would want to see what the people who want to join the Taco Bell Discord are saying.
I mean, but that's what happened with the Wendy's Discord, is that it was just a bunch of people being like, haha, Wendy's has a Discord. And then that's all anyone did. I feel like a lot of Discords are like that, where people are like, haha, it's a Discord. But another suit involving Taco Bell was that Taco John's, a regional chain, claimed that it has Taco Tuesday trademarked. And it had sued Taco Bell to take control of the Taco Tuesday trademark. However, Taco John's, John is a little guy. Taco Bell, Bell is a big guy. And
Taco Bell Grande,
John's,
if you will.
Taco Bell Grande. And Taco John's dropped the suit because they were like, we can't pay these legal fees. So you can copy people's trademarks if you have more money than them, is basically what's happening here.
Yeah, I mean, basically what it is that trademark law is pretty much like there's no federal authority that's going to come after you if you do it.
Yeah.
It relies on the person who owns the trademark to be like, hey man, you stop that. So trying to go against Taco Bell was stupid in this case, and it's also stupid because Taco Tuesdays is probably generic. Like, it's not really something that can be trademarked, because it's like, I would argue probably, and I feel like Sam, my sugar daddy, hi Sam, would have opinions on this, because it's like, I feel like this is probably generic, because I feel like this is a phrase that like it's just entered the common vernacular in a way, like Xeroxing and stuff like that. But
yeah, I mean, it's like, it's not that difficult to come up with Taco John's, or I mean, sorry.
Taco
it's not
Tuesday.
that difficult to come up with Taco
Yeah,
Tuesday.
just...
Like, Taco Thursday just doesn't have a ring to it.
Exactly. And like, I feel like people say Taco Tuesday a lot anyway, so it's like, yeah, it's just the thing people say.
I don't know. This reminds me of, in my corner of the internet, this is only relevant to, like, me. I'm very on interior design TikTok. Like, my TikTok is so boring. Mm-hmm. Like, it's all just, like, millennials being like, here's a hack for cleaning your stove. And then interior designers being like, look how I upcycled this IKEA dresser.
Your
like,
TikTok sounds mad chuggy. Mine is a disaster, though.
I'm chuggy and I know it.
Well,
I wish mine was more of a disaster, because then it's like, I don't see the stuff that I can write about. I just see stuff like the interior design drama right now is this one interior designer who, like, I have her wallpaper, Tay Beep Boop. She accused this other girl, Karen Joy, of copying her aesthetic.
Oh, shit.
And the thing is, like, I think Tay Beep Boop is right that Karen Joy is copying her, but I think you don't say it. Like, and, because things like, I don't know, like, in Karen Joy's house, she has a wall of, like, people painting their hands and putting handprints on it when they come to visit, but not enough people have came to visit, and it looks really bad right now, and I just don't really think Karen Joy is a good designer. I'm sorry. I'm on Team Tay, however, I'm actually on Team Nobody, because why did Tay post that? Like,
this is so
why
specific.
are
What
you...
the fuck, man?
I know. Yeah, but the point being is, like, part of me is like, yeah, it does look like she copied Tay, but can Tay be the only person that has an orange couch?
I love this.
Can she be the only person that has a blue and green kitchen? However, like, also, like, because part of it was also that her boyfriend makes monster heads as, like,
What?
art.
Okay.
And then Karen started making monster heads, and it's like, okay, the monster heads are a little specific, but like, an orange couch is an orange couch.
Wait, man, I just want to point out that you were like, my TikTok is extremely boring, and then it was like here's this really specific beef between these two interior designers. Nothing on the internet is boring. Also, what the fuck are these people doing?
I don't know, but like, the wallpaper that I have from the like Tay Beep Boop collection is now discontinued because the wallpaper company dropped her for making a TikTok that was like criticizing this other designer, which like I don't think she should have made the TikTok. Like this is something that you send a voice memo to your best friend and you're like, this fucking girl Karen, her handprint wall sucks. Which Tay didn't even comment on the handprint wall. This is me. Like I think the handprint wall undermines her as a designer because it's so ugly.
Damn, you're gonna get your wallpaper partnership revoked now.
I know. The wallpaper partnership that I have, Wow If True Feet wallpaper company.
I think we can make some good wallpaper. I think we as a community could make some really good wallpaper.
I think we as in like, I feel like you would be good at it because you have that like digital art background. Yeah, but anyway, point being, like, it's kind of similar where, like, it's not that outlandish that, like, 2 people on TikTok have bright orange couches. Like, who cares? In the same way that, like, so many people could have come up with Taco Tuesday.
Well,
Like,
but it's not even the coming up. Like it's basically like the first to file the trademark gets the trademark.
yeah.
I believe that's how it works. I forget if it was that or if you can prove that you're the originator. I forget. One of these is the Europe law thing and the other is the American law thing, but I've completely forgotten which. Sam is going to yell at me through the screen. It's fine.
Should we trademark Wow If True?
Yeah, I think that'd be funny.
What's the process of trademarking?
We would have to file it with the USPTO, and that means I forget how much it would cost, but it wouldn't be super expensive. We would basically just have to fill out a bunch of forms and say what we're trademarking it for. And just like in what class of trademark we are trademarking it, and whether it's in use or it's a thing that we're going to use later. We could trademark either just a word mark, the Wow If True, like the English phrase, or we could trademark like the image. And I don't think anyone else has this trademark, so I don't think it would be that big a deal. If we did it, there would be a small chance that the person examining this would be my friend Kayla, who works for the USPTO, which would be very funny for me.
Yeah. But I feel like we can't trademark word arcs. I feel like that's like a public like open source
We
thing.
would have to check that because I actually don't know if that's true or not because
Yeah, I don't know either. We're gonna get sued by Microsoft. That would be pretty good for us. I feel like that would
it'd be
really
good for
up our
brand,
profile.
actually. Yeah, I think getting
Yeah.
I think getting sued for Microsoft would actually be a huge win for WoW if true.
Yeah, I mean like Taco John's. I've never heard of that.
But now you know.
Yeah. Also, I like how Taco John's has owned the trademark in every state since 1989 except for New Jersey.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, so what's going on with New Jersey?
What's going on with New Jersey? I also like how Taco Bell is trying to like see, this is why like lawsuits are so funny because Taco Bell said, quote, that or not quote yet. Taco Bell said that the phrase should, quote, be freely available to all who make, sell, eat, and celebrate tacos.
So true, bestie. But also
Celebrate
fucking
tacos.
Celebrate tacos. Do you think you're out here celebrating tacos enough in your daily life?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'm not celebrating them enough, and I really need to change that about myself.
Right, this might be a you issue.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, now we gotta go to Taco John's.
After we go to
talk
Taco
about
Bell,
another,
because you have to try Taco Bell. We're gonna go to Taco
Yeah.
Bell, buddy. We're gonna go to Taco Bell Cantina in New York City, and we're gonna get a fucking alcoholic Baja Blast and a Crunchwrap Supreme, and we're both gonna be like the sucks. I kind of like Taco Bell though.
I mean, sure.
Accept your fate.
well-
This is content.
Okay. So another lawsuit that is related to the internet and about food being bad. Mr. Beast sued the ghost kitchen that is running his Mr. Beast Burger franchise. And I just think that's funny. And for people that have a brain cell left in their brain, Mr. Beast is probably like the most successful American YouTuber. He has like 170 million subscribers or something. He makes all these crazy videos like, I buried myself alive for 48 hours. And then, like, I bought a random person a house. But then the reason he's, like, doing all these, like, big, like, huge money stunts is because then he makes more money, like, from the ads. Not always, but I think it evens out enough that, like, this is a very wealthy man.
Yeah.
One of the things he's doing with his wealth is making a burger chain.
Right, yeah, he's making a ghost kitchen burger chain. So if you've ever used a delivery app in the past some amount of time, then you've probably seen Mr. Beast Burger on like fucking Dash Pass or Grubhub or wherever. And what's going on with that is basically this is a brand that operates out of a ghost kitchen that is affiliated with Mr. Beast. And I'm blanking on what the company that runs it is called, but he basically
Virtual Dining Concepts.
Yeah, Celebrity Virtual Dining LLC.
I think they're the same thing. Like, this company is, like, under multiple names.
No, it's not under multiple names. What it is that it is yes, but... Sorry, I'm going to get really annoying because in my other life I am an actual lawyer who sometimes gives actual legal advice. But it's, what's going on here is that it's basically, like, you have an operating company and a holding company, and then I guess it's two operating companies, and I don't know why they do that, but sometimes people do that for tax purposes because it's, like, flow through entities, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Law.
Cool. Mr. Beast is saying that his reputation has been materially tarnished because the Mr. Beast burgers are so bad.
Mm-hmm.
And so in this lawsuit, there's, like, to start off, like, you pointed this out, I pointed this out, like, again, I'm just trying to make the point in this episode that lawsuits are funny as hell. The opening to this lawsuit: when Joe DiMaggio was asked why he hustled on every play of every game, he responded that, quote, "There's always a kid who may be seeing me for the first time. I owe him my best." This encapsulates the philosophy that one of the most accomplished and prolific online content creators in the world, Jimmy Donaldson, aka Mr. Beast, brings to everything he does, from his global YouTube channels to his other business ventures. I also just want to point out that when I was tweeting about this, and then friend of the pod, Gabriel, texted me and was like, "I can't believe that we let a guy named Jimmy be the most successful YouTuber." And I think he has a point.
I kind of agree.
I'm going to give Gabriel props on that one. Yeah, we really let a guy named Jimmy from North Carolina be the most famous YouTuber.
But, like, who would you put in his place? You can crown the next most famous YouTuber. I have an answer already.
Isabel Kim.
No, absolutely fucking not. Do not wish that upon me. I nominate Derek.
Oh yeah, of course. The thing is, for those who listened... Yeah, for those who listened to episode 69, this is Dark Diogenes Unchained that we are alluding to.
Yes, he made a really good Bean video that I think we should link in the credits to this episode because I just want more people to see it because
I haven't even watched it yet. Like, you put it in the Discord and I was at the Phillies game and I was just like, I don't know what this is, but if Derek made a video about beans, I already know it's really like nominated for the Golden Globes.
I've watched it 3 times.
I like that we have friends that just make bean videos. Better fate for beans than being part of a Mexican pizza. But yeah, so to get back to the point, it's not normal to open lawsuits with a quote from Joe DiMaggio.
No, this is like, that's a deranged thing to do. Not like out of the ordinary, but out of the ordinary. You know, like, it's not the weirdest thing someone has done in a lawsuit. It is very funny.
What is the weirdest thing you've seen in a lawsuit?
Honestly, the weirdest thing I've seen in a lawsuit, like, so I actually haven't looked at a lot of lawsuits since law school because I don't do, like, litigation, but I always think about, like, the lawsuit between Aqua's Barbie girl and Mattel. So, like, Aqua versus Mattel, Incredible. Where it was like, the parties are advised to chill as the final word from the judge. And I just thought that's a deranged thing for a judge to say about a lawsuit.
I love that. Okay. God, this is incredible. I'm so happy. So basically, this lawsuit is about how literally everyone who orders Mr. Beast Burger, like, a significant portion of the people are like, this fucking sucks, and I got delivered, like, a frozen piece of chicken or, like, a raw hamburger patty, and my kids got sick from eating it, and, like, I don't know. There's 3 exhibits. One of them is just pictures of all of, like, people across social media platforms being like, Mr. Beast sucks.
It is 85 pages. It is 85 pages of people, like, across, like, Reddit, TikTok, YouTube, miscellaneous, Google reviews, Yelp, all being like, hey, I got sick. My kid got sick. Look at this raw chicken. Look at this raw burger. This sucked shit. It's 85 pages. It's so fucking funny.
one of the exhibits is just the general, like, the lawsuit, the Joe DiMaggio thing, you know. And then the third one is a single letter from a parent who was like, my children and I had a beautiful evening planned where they were going to show me Mr. Beast's videos, and then we would order Mr. Beast burger and eat it together. And I'm just like, oh my God, I never want to be a parent. That's what you have to do when you're a parent. Yeah, and then he was like, it turned out that the burgers were being mailed from the burgers were being delivered from a 7-Eleven, and they came in generic packaging.
It's like, and that ruined our entire night. My relationship with my
it
children never recovered.
It is 10 years later. My children are both in jail. No, that's not what happened. But the concept of ghost kitchens is like you set up shop in a restaurant and you make your food like in the restaurant kitchen, but you're not part of the restaurant, and then you only do deliveries, which like that's not inherently a bad concept, but it is a bad concept when you have these running out of like already crowded and like not great quality kitchens like a 7-Eleven. This happened with another ghost kitchen that is run by Virtual Dining Concepts, which is the sports podcast Pardon My Take has a restaurant called Pardon My Cheesesteak.
Okay.
And then the reviews are like, I ordered this, and then IHOP called me and told me that they don't have cheese for my cheesesteak, so they canceled my order.
Damn.
It's like, damn, IHOP is making you a cheesesteak. That's brutal. But there's also a chain called Pasquale's that is run out of Chuck E. Cheese.
Yep.
And this terrified me because there's a Pasquale's that I have been to in Philly, and I was like, oh my God, that Pasquale's is a Chuck E. Cheese. But then I remembered that this was like a place that I went to that wasn't a Chuck E. Cheese. So, you know, it's all good. But I did have a moment of panic.
I love the idea of panicking because you accidentally went to a Chuck E. Cheese. That's really funny to me for some reason.
The animatronics are scary, and the pizza is bad. There's been problems with these ghost kitchens already because the quality of the food just isn't good. And in March, Uber Eats removed 5,000 of these brands from the app because it was like a ghost kitchen just rebranding their restaurant as a ton of different things. Mm-hmm. So you'd see restaurants that would be like, YOLO Swag Pizza. Like, literally. And then people would be like, haha, I'm going to order pizza from there because it's YOLO Swag Pizza. Mm-hmm. But then they get the pizza and it's like 7-Eleven pizza that is like in a white container. And you only ordered it because the name is silly. And the name is silly because the people that are running the ghost kitchen uploaded the same menu like 20 times under a different silly name.
Not very YOLO Swag of them.
I know, not very YOLO Swag of them. So Uber Eats is cutting down on this, but like, I just thought that this lawsuit was really interesting because, like, the Virtual Dining Concepts response to this was really interesting because they were claiming that Mr. Beast only is so famous because of Mr. Beast Burger, whereas Mr. Beast is claiming that his association with Mr. Beast Burger has made him less trustworthy to his audience because they associate the bad burgers with something that he is doing himself.
You know what's interesting about this is that, like, but he's suing for breach of contract, and I don't understand how I don't 100% understand how both of their arguments go into the breach of contract.
I think there was also something where, like, they didn't pay him money that he's owed, but that was kind of vague.
That's actually probably what the actual allegations are, and everything else is saying that both parties are acting in bad faith / slandering each other to the press, because what he's suing for is breach of contract. Like, hey man, you guys didn't do what you said you were going to do. Give me my fucking money. And also, you did all of these things you said you weren't going to do. Because some of the other stuff that they did is they filed a bunch of trademarks that they weren't supposed to in other jurisdictions. And basically, what Mr. Beast is arguing is, like, you are not fulfilling the terms of your contract by creating, like, inedible food, essentially. You are fucking up my brand. You are actively taking my brand and using it when it is specifically said in our contract, you will not do this. And you aren't giving me my fucking money.
And also, my fans are mad at me because they think I'm giving them raw meat personally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so...
But I think this is interesting, though, because it's like Mr. Beast being mad because he thinks that his famousness is being impacted buy the burgers. And then he's accusing the burger company also of using his name to secure deals with other creators. But then the burger company is like, no, we made Mr. Beast, which, like, as someone who, like, studies this for work, I'm like, no, Mr. Beast is not famous because of Mr. Beast Burger. Like, it's just one of those things where you have super famous guy who does another thing to make money. It's like when professional athletes have a brand deal with Nike, it's like, you're not famous because you have a brand deal with Nike. The brand deal with Nike probably is introducing you to a new audience. However, you are not famous because you're in a Nike ad.
Right, like, it is, you are mistaking cause and effect is essentially what's going on here.
Yes, but I think litigating fame and, like, what made someone famous is really interesting, because it is true that Mr. Beast had like 50 million YouTube followers when he struck this deal, which that's still a fuck ton of YouTube followers. But then now he has like 150, 139, I can't remember, but he has like significantly more, like more than double followers since then.
I feel that's
in
completely
2020.
Unrelated to the burger
No,
thing,
yeah,
which is like,
but
and like, how are they going to try?
Can you prove it though?
But like, how can the burger company prove that it's related? Like, you know,
Yeah,
like on
I
both
don't know,
sides,
and
it's
that's
like,
yeah, that's what I think is so interesting though, because it's like, how do you prove the correlation or the lack of correlation between the burger company's success or lack thereof and Mr. Beast's fame himself?
Like,
because I think what made him get a huge burst in followers was just like the Squid Game video was huge.
was
I think
his
he
original
just had-
content? Yeah.
yeah, like, I mean, I think that he's kind of annoying, and I disagree with a lot of his political takes, but I think he's a good creator. Like, he's really good at what he does, and he makes really compelling content. Like, I don't like the guy, but I could watch his videos because they are edited to be, like, maximally entertaining. Like, I've seen him speak at VidCon, and he talks about how he, like, carefully curates, like, the first 6 seconds of a video because that's, like, I don't know, just like the strategy of making YouTube videos is so interesting, especially in the era of short form video where we're used to seeing like 15-second videos now, but then YouTubers are making these like video essays.
Yeah, what's interesting is that I think Mr. Beast approaches his video content like scientifically. Like, this dude has studied the YouTube format. Like, literally he has. Like, he's spoken about it, and that's...
He studied the blade.
He studied the blade. The blade being YouTube.
He is really good at what he does, and he's not really good at what he does because of the burgers.
Like, I think the burgers are pretty much ancillary. Anyway, so
it's just a way to make more money, because I do think that, like, even YouTubers like Mr. Beast, who last year he was trying to raise venture capital at like an over $1 billion valuation, and I was like, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Like, I do think he is $1 billion brand. But I don't, it just, his whole business model stresses me out so much. I'm like, Jimmy, come on, are you okay?
That's a dude who's, you've seen his videos, he's not okay.
He's not okay, but I think it's interesting that even the most successful YouTubers and creators, like, I've unfortunately watched every episode of the D'Amelio show because I have no taste, and
That's rough, buddy.
Cursed.
That's rough.
Yeah, it is rough. But even them, like, I feel like they get so accustomed to this lifestyle of, like, buying $5 million houses that they're like, how am I going to provide this for myself for the rest of my life? And then there's so much anxiety about, like, how do I make enough money to keep up this cost of living? Or on a smaller scale with, like, lesser super famous creators, if it's just like you're just making a living and then you're like, will I still be able to make this independent freelance living in 10 years? And how do you extend the life cycle of your fame? Because the YouTubers that were famous 10 years ago, aside from like the Vlogbrothers, are, I mean, they're Colleen Ballinger.
Yeah.
And they're on the toxic gossip train.
So, okay, so, like, I feel like with Mr. Beast specifically, he's been very strategic about going from, like, I think the thing about YouTube is that fundamentally, if you're famous from YouTube, you are a YouTuber. You can never escape that, you know what I mean? It's like...
Yeah.
And I feel like what he's been trying to do is he's been trying to, like, pivot to other business ventures so that the YouTube thing is not his thing forever. I don't know if that's true or not.
No, I I think that the YouTube is his bread and butter, and that does seem to be like his passion. But I think like the D'Amelios are venture capitalists now, which is crazy. Like they have a VC firm and they invest in like consumer brands, but it's because like you're using the fame to start a generic consumer business and sell products and then use the money from those products to invest in other consumer products that you then promote.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, it's interesting how I feel like this happens also with professional athletes and with musicians. Like the Jonas Brothers are venture capitalists now.
Wait, are they actually?
Yeah, okay.
What the fuck?
I was trying
Wait, sorry, we have to talk about this. What the fuck?
Oh yeah, they invested in like Olipop, which is like one of those like weird beverages.
I actually like Olipop.
Yeah, I've never had it, but they invested in Scriber, which is an SMS fan engagement platform. They've invested in some other companies too, but they're working with some contacts company. And I got an email this week that was like, interview Kevin and Joe Jonas about how these contacts are helping them on their tour. And I responded and I was like, I'm not going to interview them about these contacts on their tour. Like, that's a PR puff piece, and, like, I can't do that. But would they want to talk just about generally, like, going from being the Jonas Brothers to going to be venture capitalists? Because, as evidenced by you, that's funny. People, I mean, it's not funny. It's interesting and funny.
It
but,
is
like,
funny.
People want to know about it.
Yeah.
And I want to interview the Jonas Brothers. And then the PR person was like, oh, yeah, I just do PR for, like, the contact company. I don't do PR for the Jonas Brothers. But I even like for a moment like the person who books Disrupt, which is like the TechCrunch big conference, I was DMing him like, can I invite the Jonas Brothers to Disrupt? Like, what if because like we have Shaq coming to Disrupt. We had like Serena Williams last year, who she's also a venture capitalist, and she's married to Alexis Ohanian, the Reddit co-founder.
Is this just what happens if you get to a certain level of fame? Is that you just end up becoming a venture capitalist? Like that's the end game of money?
Because you get money and then you get more money. And yeah.
I mean, I get that. I would like to have money and then more money, but also this is grim. I don't like capitalism.
For a moment, I was like, Richard, let me invite the Jonas Brothers to Disrupt. And he was like, sure. Like, I think he sort of thought I was joking. I don't know. But then I looked at their tour dates, and they're touring during Disrupt.
This is
and
devastating.
I was like, God damn it. Imagine if I invited the Jonas Brothers to Disrupt.
Simply tell them to tour there. Simply tell them to do their concert there.
I wasn't even, like, a big Jonas Brothers fan. I just think it would be so funny.
Yeah, because it would be mad funny. It's funny, because I was, like, my friends were Jonas Brothers fans in middle school, so I was, you know that thing where your friends are into something, so you were kind of like, I guess I'll be into this thing, too? That's how I felt about the Jonas Brothers.
I was the opposite, where I was insecure to the point of thinking that I needed to differentiate myself by not liking the stuff everyone else liked. So I was like, the Jonas Brothers, ew. I was a big Hannah Montana fan, though, and...
Damn.
Yeah. What's also funny is, like, my dad thinks that I'm, like, a talent scout because he's like, wow, like, you, when you were a kid, you spotted Miley Cyrus and you knew she was going to be big. And I'm like, no, she had a Disney show by then. Like, she was big.
Yeah, she was already there. Like, if you have the Disney show to adult, like, singer pipeline is actually very strong.
Yeah. She's a very good singer.
We have lost the plot.
Miley Cyrus is not a venture capitalist yet, to my knowledge. We have lost the plot. Yeah,
Love is Blind.
Love is Blind.
Love is Blind.
Another lawsuit. Yeah, there are Love is Blind contestants that are suing Netflix, accusing them of mistreating them on set. The allegations are like they weren't giving them enough food, but they were giving them unlimited alcohol. We know what happens when you have not enough food and too much alcohol. They weren't allowed to, like, go outside during filming, like, in the pods, unless if they were, like, going to the bathroom, or, like, they were just very sequestered. One of the main guys involved in the lawsuit, like, he was saying, like, oh, you could have told me that a week had passed or a month had passed and I wouldn't have known, because they were, like, not sleeping and, like, not allowed to go outside. And, like, the way they talk about, like, there's certain scenes where, as the viewers, we're like, what? And then in this context, they make more sense. Like, There was one girl on the newest season of Love is Blind. I can't remember her name, but when she was getting proposed to, she fell asleep. She still got married to this guy. Like they were like the couple that actually seemed like they had a good thing going. But when you watch that, you're like, wow, this bitch fell asleep while she was getting proposed to. But then you realize that this girl probably got like 5 hours of sleep in the last 2 weeks and her body just is not working.
Yeah, man, that's actually really freaky because like I feel like we all know that like reality television is very much like it's not scripted, but it's scripted. Or like the circumstances are arranged to make contestants act in a certain way. But that is unnerving to know that that's how Netflix was doing that, if the allegations are true.
In, I believe it was season 2. Have you seen Love is Blind, by the way?
I've seen some of Love is Blind. I haven't watched season 2 of it. I watched like I think like half of season 1 and then I just never got to the rest of it.
Context for anyone who hasn't seen it, it's a Netflix show where you have people that are dating only through like pods where all they can do is talk to each other, they can't see each other, etc. Then they're forced to get married within a month, which is like, it's not gonna work. More Perfect Union did this 10-minute interview that they posted with Jeremy Hartwell, who is the person that filed the lawsuit. He didn't get very far on the show. Like, you probably would not know him from the show, but he had a wild experience on it and was like, I need to do something to, like, change how reality contestants are treated. And then Nick Thompson, who married Danielle on season 2, and there's a scene where it looks like Danielle is really sick and then Nick goes to a party and then comes back and then Danielle's like really upset because she's like, why did you go to a party and then just like leave me here? But then he says what actually happened was that she like wasn't feeling well. They had her do a COVID test. She tested negative, but then they still quarantined her. And then they were like, Nick, you have to go to this party. And he was like, okay. And so they had her quarantined. They had him go to the party. She's like alone in her room for 3 hours, like with cameras on her as she's like puking. And he is forced to go to this party by the producers. And then he comes back and then you see him walk out of the room and be like, I'm done. And it looks like he's mad at her for being upset.
But it's like he's done with the party.
Well, no, like he's mad that the producers were like, we're going to engineer this drama where we're gonna like force you to go away from your sick girlfriend who's like suffering and send you to this party. And then she told him like, no, what happened was like this is what happened. They sequestered me, whatever. And then he's like, fuck this. But they make it seem like he's like mad at her for being sick or something.
Got it. Huh.
But
reality TV is perhaps bad.
Yeah, and I mean, this is also the company that makes The Ultimatum, and I feel like, I don't know,
What's the Ultimatum? I don't know what The Ultimatum is.
The Ultimatum is you have couples that are together, but one of them wants to get married and the other one is like not ready to commit yet.
Oh wait, no, I do remember which one this is.
But and then they like break and they break them up and then they can like date each other, but then they just did a series of the Queer Ultimatum and then that was even messier because like everyone is dating each other.
I mean, all of this sounds like less messy than MILF Manor.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, MILF Manor is a reality TV show where it is all MILFs and sons. And sons of the MILFs. And both of the sets of contestants, so it's literally a bunch of moms who have been told that they're going to be on a dating show. And a bunch of their sons who have been told that they're going to be on a different dating show. But what actually happens is that it's a set of like moms and sons who are in the same dating show. So it's a bunch of moms who are dating each other's sons.
No!
It is also hysterical because some of these guys are like I think the youngest guy there is like 20, and a lot of these dudes are coming to terms with the fact that their mom likes to fuck.
What is this on?
I forget. It's extremely bad. I watched the first episode and it was, hold on, I will look this up actually.
Oh no. Well, Anyway, so this lawsuit, basically the lawyer who's representing Hartwell says that he's alleging that the show, quote, intentionally underpaid the cast members, deprived them of food, water, and sleep, piled them with booze, and cut off their access to personal contacts in most of the outside world. This made cast members hungry for social connections and altered their emotions and decision making, which, I mean, that just describes reality TV, but I guess they're alleging that this was a more extreme case where they were like deprived of food. And then also they're alleging that they should be classified as employees rather than independent contractors because they were working like 20 hours a day for the entire time they're on the show, which if you get engaged and go through with the whole thing, then that could be like 2 months or so. But I think it's at least like 2 weeks that they're in the pods.
That's pretty long, yeah.
Yeah, and then they're getting paid $1,000 a week for 20 hours a day, which works out to about $7 per hour, which is under Los Angeles minimum wage, which is $15 an hour. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's really interesting thinking about like, are reality TV show actors like, are they employees? Are they contractors? I don't know. Like, I think the lawsuit might be a bit of a long shot because I know I've seen with like other labor cases at like companies like Google had something recently where the workers actually won saying that their employer was Google when they were subcontractors working through Cognizant, which is another company. And like that was a really, really big like breakthrough thing. But I think this is even more of a stretch because the people that are working here, like they're doing a reality show for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, that's hard. And I feel like actors in general. Yeah, sorry, I wanted to tell you about this MILF. I looked up what MILF Manor was.
Yeah, while I was saying that, Isabel messaged me quotes from. Yeah.
Okay, well, anyway, it's on TLC, and according to Wikipedia, the show currently has a 17% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, wherein critics describe it as psychological torture and Freudian horror. And I just wanted to point that out. So I guess what I'm saying is that I think reality TV is bad. Send tweet.
If I had to think of something to call Freudian horror, I think it would be MILF Manor.
Would you go on a reality TV show? I feel like we talked about this before, in this sense of like going on a circle.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where I would come off really, really bad on reality TV because I would not be able to handle, like, I think no matter what show you're on, you're gonna be getting weird sleep. You might not be getting fed at okay intervals. You might be, like, socially pressured to drink more than you do. And I know that when I am, like, in very stressful situations and sleep deprived, I just get very like easily anxious and like will get mad at people for like not doing dishes. Like I'll be the person in
you'll be the
shared
guy.
house
who's
like, none of these people know how to clean.
You'll be the guy that they make into the like, she's like the person who's being like trying to get everyone to clean stuff and is like and then gets into altercations.
Yeah, that'd be me on a reality show. I think if I had to pick one to go on, I would go on The Circle, but I think that would also be hard because you are also isolated. At least on The Circle, like I've watched videos of like what it's like to be on The Circle because I'm that person. It does seem like they're getting fed, like they're responsible for their food. They buy groceries, like they send a grocery list that the staff buys for them, and then they're just living in an apartment and they make themselves food.
That seems fine.
And it is hard to be like sequestered like that, but they are allowed to like go to the pool on the roof or like go to the gym, and they have like shifts where they can do these things at certain periods of time. I don't know. Would you go on a reality show, and what show would you go on?
Okay, so was a caveat that this isn't a world where I am not a lawyer because I wouldn't do this with my current job just for like image purposes. But I would go on a reality TV. I feel like the one I would enjoy being on the most would be Terrace House. You're just kind of chilling. And it's like you're with these 5 other people, and everyone goes on to the show with like a goal that they have, and can leave at any point that they want. So
that sounds like that game that the TTRPG we played, Something Is Wrong Here, where everyone has a goal.
Yeah, honestly, except it's not as psychologically horrifying. It's like a very like cottagecore, honestly, and it's like it's really just like you have a bunch of roommates and you're all living together and you're trying to do some stuff, and then it seems very chill in a way that no other reality TV show is. I actually think I would do pretty well in reality TV, though. I think.
Oh no, I think you would be very good, because I think that you would be able to like keep a cool head and still be able to like think strategically and make decisions that are advantageous to your standing on the show. I also think I would go on The Bachelor, because I would probably not actually like the guy, and I would just be like, I'd just be chilling. Yeah. I'd just be like, this is weird. Why am I here? And then I would get sent home on like the first time, because I would be like, what am I doing? Yeah, and also because I don't look like girls on The Bachelorette. So
no, but like, I feel like they might keep you just because it's like it's kind of fun to have someone who doesn't care about the situation around. Do you know what I mean? It's like somebody who's just gonna like vibe.
They'd keep me because they'd be like, look, we're being progressive by having a girl who does not weigh 100 pounds.
Yeah, it's like by keeping not the Republican wet dream.
Yeah. There was an America's Next Top Model season where they had a girl named Liberty who was extremely Republican, and it felt like they kept her around for the drama.
Her name's Liberty. Incredible.
Oh, yeah. But, yeah, so, I don't know, like, I do think what's interesting is that Nick Thompson and Jeremy Hartwell, who are the main people involved in the Love is Blind case, started a like organization to help reality TV contestants like access therapy after being on reality TV. And I think that's really interesting, and I think that does make a lot of sense, because you have to be a really specific type of therapist to be able to treat people for like being on reality TV.
Yeah. You know, the fact that you have to get therapy that people need therapy after reality TV really speaks to, like, what this genre of entertainment is.
Yeah.
It's, like, not good.
This is why The Hunger Games is a book.
Yeah. I got nothing here. That's all I got. It's weird.
Yeah.
I think I would win, though. Not The Hunger Games. I would lose that. But I would win in other reality TV competitions.
Like what?
I don't know. I think I could win The Circle.
Oh yeah, you could win The Circle. I would be like, I would have a really strong game for like 3 weeks and then just completely fall off.
Interesting. What would happen in week 3?
Okay, so my problem with The Circle is if I went in, I would not be able to say I'm a journalist, because then everyone would immediately be skeptical of me and be like, oh, she's like snooping and like getting information from people. So I probably would, like, I don't know, maybe I would go in as, like, a museum educator, or, like, a job I've had in the past but do not currently have. But, like, I don't know, I feel like I would slip up. I feel like even though that's such a white lie, like, I could very easily act as though I'm a museum educator, because I've worked in museums. But, like, I don't know. I think the pressure would get to me. I would crack. I would, like, I don't know. There was this one guy, Jack, on season 2 of The Circle, where he was playing as a girl, and he was doing very good at being a girl. And then they had a makeup challenge, and then people were like, what makeup do you like? And he didn't know the brand of any makeup, and he was like, Collection Co.
Damn.
And then that's when everyone realized he was a catfish.
I feel like, I think on The Circle, I want to say that I would catfish, but I actually think it would be stronger if I just went in as a different version of myself, so that it would be, like, easier not to catch the lies, if that makes sense, because I probably wouldn't say lawyer, I'd probably say law student.
Yeah, or I feel like you could go in as, like a studio artist, and just be like, yeah, I make paintings of, like, landscapes and sell them to galleries, and then they sell them to hotels.
Yeah, I feel like, or I would just say that, like, oh yeah, I feel like the easiest one to do would just be like, I'm unemployed.
But then I feel like that's, I don't know. You could go in as a podcaster.
I could go in as a podcaster. That actually would be that'd be funny.
Because famously, everyone thinks podcasters are cool and not at all annoying. And on that note,
if you like this episode, tell a friend. Word of mouth is how we grow. Thank you to all of our patrons, and shout out specifically to Zoe, Brea, Andromeda, Thea, Brian, Gabriel, Lotta, Matt, Max, my sugar daddy Sam, and Aaron's husband. If you want your name in the above or in our Twitter header, slide right into our Patreon at patreon.com/wowoftrue. Shout out to audio editors Allison Mills and David Newtown, graphic designer and Canva Warlock Eric Silver, who made our logo, Sam Reiser, who made our podcast music, and Tessa Farrow, who is transcribing our episodes. You can find us on Twitter as @WowofTruePod and Instagram and Facebook as @WowofTrue. Had your 15 seconds of internet fame? Slide right into our Twitter DMs and tell us about it. And until next time, let's get weird on the internet.
Wait, breaking news. I just looked at my phone for the first time since we started recording, and my brother is staying with me and is upstairs and can hear what I'm saying, and he said, "Time to talk about the law."
Okay, and scene.